that, excuse me, I'm trying to talk, sir.
Sorry,
I am trying to talk to
I-
you.
Here's part of the problem. Your attorney is trying to save you. Oh, you know what? Don't throw your hands down. Bond revoke. You're gonna have to give me an explanation for that. Those folks over there at community corrections have to deal with a lot of people coming through, a lot of people that are under stress, and they don't need this garbage.
And
Certainly, and I'll be honest with you, especially Ms. Dozier, does not need this garbage. So before you start talking to me, you better make sure you understand what you're saying to me.
And Honor, before the violation issued, right after the in terminated because of behavior at the intake, Mr. Hill came to my office.
We're clear. It's not just his behavior. She had to call officers in, try to deal with it, and still tried to do it, and he still didn't do it, and he didn't complete his intake. Go ahead.
My office, made me aware of what happened, sat down with me, wrote an apology letter to Agent Dozier, sent it to her. I extended my apologies on his behalf. And I think to try and put this into context, and he acknowledges there's no excuse for it, but to try and put it into context, Mr. Hill has had medication stolen. He's prescribed medication for a mental health diagnosis. As he scheduled 2 appointments with his psychiatrists to make a plan moving forward. And after sending our apology letter to Agent Dozier, one thing Mr. Hill brought up was if his social worker was present at the time of intake, I think that might help him regulate his emotions, but he's still trying to get back on the medication that he's prescribed. So,
Let me just read the letter here.
well, Your Honor, I can answer any of the court's questions, and I think Mr. Hill can answer any of the court's questions as well at this time.
Please, I will answer. Please. Thank you. This is difficult. It's very difficult what's going on. But please, I will answer whatever you need to know from me over here.
Over here.
This is where the hearing becomes incredibly important from a legal standpoint. Defense counsel is attempting to provide context for the defendant's behavior by explaining that Mr. Hill allegedly had his medication stolen and was struggling with mental health issues during intake at community corrections. In many courts, judges will absolutely consider mental health circumstances as mitigation, especially when a defendant is actively seeking treatment, attending psychiatric appointments, and attempting to apologize for misconduct. But here's the problem. Mitigation only works when the defendant demonstrates accountability and composure in court. The judge is already making it clear that the behavior toward corrections staff crossed a serious line. Community corrections officers deal with high-pressure situations every day, and courts expect defendants to cooperate, even during stressful circumstances. What's fascinating is that the attorney is actually doing a solid job trying to redirect the hearing toward rehabilitation instead of punishment. He mentions the apology letter, the medication issue, and even possible support from a social worker. That strategy is designed to show the court that this behavior may be manageable with structure and treatment. But viewers, do you think the judge is buying it? Or has the defendant already damaged his credibility too much before even speaking for himself?
I did not expect to go to that meeting and that happen. That's for sure. I'll be open. I'm an open person. And I was just opening up to Miss Dozier about my.
No, you weren't. You were interfering with the intake process. She was just trying to get certain things done.
I Can I mention something?
Go ahead.
I was talking to Miss Dozier in a meeting, and there was some confusion. I was confused, and I was explaining to her why. Because the magistrate informed me that if I go to community, when I go to community corrections, because he ordered me to go there, and I did everything he told me to do. And when we were in court, when I was in jail, and we were in court, he mentioned about corrections, and I already had past experience.
And there it is, the exact moment everything falls apart. The judge had repeatedly warned Mr. Hill not to interrupt, not to argue, and to let his attorney speak on his behalf. But instead of slowing down, the defendant continued talking over the court during a critical moment. In courtroom proceedings, body language, interruptions, and emotional reactions matter just as much as the words being spoken. And when the judge saw those gestures and interruptions, the situation escalated immediately into a bond revocation. What makes this hearing so intense is that there were actually signs the court was willing to consider mitigation. The attorney presented explanations involving mental health treatment, stolen medication, and efforts to apologize to community correction staff. But once courtroom decorum broke down, the focus shifted entirely from rehabilitation to control and compliance. The judge ultimately revoked bond and adjourned the matter to a later date, making it clear that respect for courtroom procedure is non-negotiable. This case became a powerful reminder that even when someone may have legitimate personal struggles, how they conduct themselves in court can completely change the outcome in seconds. If you found this courtroom moment as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
For community corrections, so I understand that these things cost money. And excuse me, please, I'm not interrupting anyone, and I don't do that. So if I do, sorry. But once I was ordered to go there, I mentioned the judge in court. I said, Judge, I do not have any money. I just do not have any money, Judge. And he said, that's okay. Community corrections will not turn you away if you do not have any money. So when I went to community corrections and met with her in her office, I mentioned that to her. Because she mentioned that, I asked her, is this going to cost me? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, well, I don't have any money. And she mentioned that, excuse me, I'm trying to talk, sir. I am trying to talk.
Here's part of the problem. Your attorney is trying to save you. Oh, you know what? Don't throw your hands down. Bond revoked. Adjourn next week. Take him.
Your Honor, we can come back next week on that.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you better keep moving. I'll adjourn this out to the 14th.